So, it is spooky time season, and you know what that means. I am finally doing a Halloween-related episode. Now, I could talk about an actual good horror movie. However, that would be way too easy. Instead, we are going to be talking about one of the worst horror movies in existence. And also, one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, but for all the wrong reasons. Birdemic Shock and Terror is quite possibly the worst movie I've ever seen. However, it is also very, 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 very funny. Really not sure how to really talk about this movie other than to just show it to you. So the following scene is completely unaltered for you to fully understand the masterpiece that is Birdemic. Enjoy!
Hi! I'll be right back with you.
Do you understand what I mean by this movie is a masterpiece? That was some of the best line delivery I have ever seen. The two actors had so much chemistry with each other. But in all seriousness, that was some of the worst line delivery and some of the worst just filmmaking I've ever seen. But the movie gets better. Much, much, much better. So let's talk about Birdemic now. Something that's really, 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 really funny about this movie is the underlying environmental message that is in every single scene, and it never has any purpose other than to just kind of annoy you. Like, two characters will be playing basketball, then they'll be like, oh man, this heat wave is so bad. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So the main character's name is Rod, and he's a salesman who is unimaginably boring. I'm not even kidding. Every scene with him, he just seems so unenthused. Like he's just doing this movie for a paycheck, which is probably true. And also, it's worth mentioning that the birds in this movie look horrible, but that makes it so much more funny. So if you're like the one person who doesn't know what Birdemic Shock and Terror is about, this is it. This is the plot. Birdemic Shock and Terror is about birds attacking people. There, that's the movie. That's the whole movie. And then also there's this really boring romantic subplot. What? Subplot? No, it's the whole movie. Yeah, it's the whole movie between Rod and this boring character named Natalie, who really has no role in the movie other than just kind of be, oh, she's Rod's girlfriend because Rod needs a girlfriend and she's a model. So yeah, if you didn't know already, the birds in this movie are all fake, and I don't really see how it would have been difficult to just get a actual bird or birds plural for this movie. It would have actually been easier to do that, but no, that would have taken away from their $10,000 budget, so can't have that. Natalie's mom is also in this movie, and I just feel like it's a regular person. Like the director just saw this woman in a supermarket and was like, oh, you want to be in my movie? Might be wondering, well, what am I getting into if I'm watching Birdemic? Is it just going to be horrible? Is it just going to be horrible acting with horrible writing and horrible everything? Well, yes, but also, there's this scene, which is the greatest thing to ever be filmed. Birds attacking a building. Someone wrote this. Someone sat down and thought, yeah, this is my final draft. This is my final draft, guys. This is good. I'm proud of myself. And then the characters run out of the building and try to attack them with hangers. This movie's genius. So then Rod and the other girl kidnap some kids, and then some more birds attack them. And then the other guy they came with gets a gun. And I'm just thinking, why don't you just use that instead of the hanger? You had the gun the whole time, and you're like, no, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save the ammo. I would need to use this gun to kill birds, which is kind of Are hangers weapons? No. No. They're hangers. So then the birds attack a bus full of people, and it's so sad. They really died. All the actors died that day. They all died. And then Rod goes to a store to to try and rob him. And it's so clear that most of the people in this movie that show up for like one scene are just normal people that have normal lives that the director probably do in real life, and he's like, hey, wanna be in my movie? And at the very end of the movie, there's this tree hugger guy who's like, I love the trees, they're my friends. And then the movie kind of just ends, because Rod finds a fishing rod. Ha, get it? Rod, fishing rod? Rod, his girlfriend, and the 2 kids he kidnapped go to the beach and chill and run away from some birds. We're just like flying around, and then they go over to the beach, and then the movie ends. Now normally I would give this movie an F because, well, yeah, it's not a very good movie, but since this movie is genius on every level, I'm gonna give this movie an A+ because it is the funniest movie I have ever seen. However, be warned, because there are some scenes that are painful to watch because they are so bad, but it makes it so funny. So yeah.